She is the helper. A helper comes to you, you are already doing something, then they help you. Does it make sense? You are already doing something, then they help you. And when they help you, you can say to them, okay, lead in this one. Take a lead here, based on their strength, right? Like she has mentioned before, because there are some things where I've got more strength and she's better than me in that field, then we agree that you will take this, but it's something that we agree. So she's a helper, but then I must be the visionary. And therefore we work together. And when we work together to lead our family, then we both win. Now the other red flag you need to run away from, I got this from my Indonesian friend, is a man who is a NATO. In Indonesia they say, no action, talk only. There are some people who will promise you the world. Are they faithful? No. They will promise you the world. You know, she used to have a friend at work. This friend had this boyfriend. He would come, give the friend a flower, and then disappear for 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, and then she come again with another flower. So it's like that flower must keep her for 2 weeks, you know? And then it goes to other girlfriends. You know? So be faithful. If someone is not faithful, the fruit of the Spirit. That's why I say this in the Bible. Being faithful is the fruit of the Spirit. Because if he is not faithful as a boyfriend or girlfriend, when you get married, you will be disappointed. You're gonna sleep with the fence way too many times and you'll be stressed. It is a red flag that you need to do. Well, okay, Annie, do you want to say something before we talk about selling fish?
Okay, I think on the part of being the doer of the word and just making sure that you do what you need to do. We love our guys. The reason why a woman would agree to marry the man is because they believe in you. And others, they need much more stronger. And if you cannot be strong enough to voice out what you want, then you're gonna find challenges when dealing with your wife. There says to be boundaries. My husband, a lot of people, they would say, you look like a very strong woman and independent and you can do these things. He looks like, you know, he's cool, he's humble, and you know, and when he speaks, he's soft-spoken and everything. But how does that work? Because we're thinking you too much for him. I'm saying that's the thing. My husband can just say one word, one. He's the one who knows which word to say, and it will just, I will feel like, okay, I've been put in my place and I need to remember who I am. There are times you're gonna have to be like that with your wife. He's not saying bad things to me, but he just says one thing that will make me question everything that I've been doing. So, and God again gives you people for different reasons. I remember when we've just gotten married again, we had a friend that came to us and he said, can you borrow us money? We've got problem with car and we need you to borrow us money. I come from a family that says you don't borrow but you give. That's what my mom said. You don't borrow, you give. So if you have, you will give them. You do not borrow them money, because if you borrow someone something, it can affect relationships and cause troubles. So don't borrow, give. I said to him, we do not borrow. He said we do not borrow, but we give. But this friend is his high school friend. They grew up all together. So I was like, okay, I can't really be very stern on this, because he's gonna think probably I'm not supporting his friends. We've just been married, and I'm talking about how I've been brought up at home, not about something that we've made as a decision of how we're gonna run our household. It's how I've been brought up. So he said, it's okay, honey, let's just give him the money. He said he will bring it on such and such a day. And I remember we had a young child. You know how they are, they need food, they need diapers, they're too expensive at that time for your first one. So I said, that's okay. It's our last money, but we give him, and then hoping that he gives it before, we gave him. Then payday came and passed, nothing. We saw him, hi, how's the baby, how's everything? He's talking, he's calling him, they're talking about it. Another month and another month and another month, and he never said a word. And then I looked and I was like, but my husband is not saying anything. I know that I always complain sometimes that he's too kind, that people will come up on his head and they will start dancing, and when the person gets tired, then he starts asking, what are you doing on my head? And then he says, no, I'm dancing. He says, don't you think it's about time for you to get off because I'm getting tired? For me, I would have said, stop dancing on my head first time. But him, he allows things to happen. Then I was like, no, honey, you need to speak to him and ask them what's going on. Because then now I'm thinking, how are we going to handle things like this in the future? So I want to understand. So because I need to protect our family and protect us again from people that will take advantage. But he does not have the heart to say that to his friend. Then he eventually said, I don't know. He says he'll bring it. Let's wait. For me, at that time, no. Network just went down. I just went straight. And I said to him, the money. You haven't said a word. What's happening? I understand we've got a child, He's the only one working at this stage because I'm finishing my university. So he has to take care of university and me and the baby. And do you understand? So what's going on? I asked him. He said, oh, I didn't realize. I thought that you were giving it to us. We're not supposed to bring it back. I said, but what I understood, you said you're borrowing the money. So when you borrow something, it's a principle. When you borrow something, it must come back. So if you had asked for it, then we would have given it to you. But the principle is you've borrowed it. So I think eventually he brought it back, end of the story. But I needed to be the one who goes and does that. And after I did that the first time, then he saw, I don't want to put my wife in that situation ever, because it doesn't suit her. She doesn't look good when she does that. So after that, he said, now we sit down, we agree, how are we going to handle things? Because if I don't have measures put in place to say this is how we handle things as a family, she oversteps, and she's gonna overstep the way she is. And because I couldn't do anything about it, I can't really blame her. So some of the things as husband, have a way of saying this is how we're gonna deal with it, and then you deal with it as couples and families.